Well, even though I know better than to buy electronics at the big box stores, I made the same mistake again. This is the Jensen SCR-75 stereo cassette player with AM and FM radio, and they must be pretty proud of the fact that it's actually a stereo unit. This does not record to tapes as far as I'm aware. Play, fast forward, and stop, auto stop, detachable belt clip, headphone jack. They give you stereo earbuds, which I'm sure are pitiful and belong in the trash. Line out jack, powers, 2 AA batteries, or again, you can use the 120 volt AC adapter, but it's not included. I like this little letter from Jensen. It says, selecting fine audio equipment such as the unit you've just purchased is only the start of your musical enjoyment. And then it goes on to give, I guess, recommendations of listening at a low volume, increasing the sound until you can hear it comfortably, and then setting the dial and leaving it there for the volume to prevent hearing damage and hearing loss. And here it is, holy plastic fantastic. This is made of very cheap, brittle feeling plastic. The top and the bottom have a sort of textured, rubberized finish, just like certain older IBM ThinkPads. You have your headphone jack, stereo line output, your tuning dial, and a switch for AM and FM. And I'm sure the tuner was a bit of an afterthought on this unit. It'll be interesting to figure out if this thing has a true analog tuner or one that's DSP based that gets very choppy if you tune rapidly throughout the band. There is a switch for going between tape mode and radio, volume control, and then your play button, stop, and fast forward. There is no rewind, so you'd have to take the tape out, flip it around, fast forward it, and then flip it back around to rewind it. On the bottom is the adapter, power adapter input, which is listed as a 3 volt DC input. We've got a detachable belt clip here, and it's made in China. You can see how basic this mechanism is, the little springs for the different features like fast forward, stop and eject, and play. This is a very rudimentary, simplistic designed mechanism, and you can also see just how simple the indicator is for the tuner. It's got a little cog in there with this little piece of plastic that sticks through this slot, so when you close the door, depending on the station that you're tuned to, that cog and the indicator actually moves to indicate what frequency you're tuned to. So I'll start by taking some AA batteries and installing them in here. Now, unfortunately, this, like many other modern radios that really throw in an FM tuner as an afterthought, this requires earbuds or headphones to be connected because they work as an external FM antenna. It says don't wind or fold the earbud cord while listening to the radio. Okay, so this thing doesn't actually have a built-in speaker. It would have been nice if it did. So I'll actually use the line output and I'll connect it up to my Jensen SCR-50 and turn its aux input on and use this as an external speaker. And I've actually got a commercially pre-recorded tape from this decade. Don't know when exactly, but this is from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This is the corresponding soundtrack, which was released on cassette. I actually bought this new, and they enclosed a little leaflet in the cassette case where you could download the MP3s to accompany this. So that was kind of nice. You have the tape and then MP3s to play digitally. Well, that's a very noisy mechanism, if I do say so myself. But I do hear some music playing. Well, here it is playing 10 cc's I'm Not in Love. And quality is actually pretty decent. Not as bad as I had expected. I don't know if you could hear that clicking, but this is a very noisy mechanism right now as it's currently fast forwarding the tape. You could hear it clicking away. Guess we should probably check out the tuner. Yep, it's got that cheapy DSP tuner that cuts in and out. May not understand it, and that's the problem with using a DSP tuner that like this that cuts in and out so quickly. If you're trying to tune up and down the band, it makes it hard to figure out what you're listening to because it's cutting in and out, so you have to stop and pause so you can actually discern what's playing.
Per minute, but on all of our sibling programs that are locally produced here in New York that reflect the voices of working class New Yorkers on what really matters to them. So we hope that that matters to you and that you can give a couple of dollars tonight by going to towerfund.wbai.org or calling 212-209.
Hearing some clicking in the background.
To make your contribution now.
Not too sure what that's coming from.
Your phone, take it out now and take down
but it is using this cord as the antenna.
Or 212-209-950.
See if I just let it sit there.
Take that number, take that
probably hear that popping in the background.
Contribution if you can. If you are one of
I
those
know what that
people
is.
who is struggling with your own rent, if you have that
well, I guess it was the USB power adapter that came with this articulating boom light, and when I turn it on, you hear that weird popping being picked up by the tuner.
C&A Trains. Talk to you again at midnight with your 77 WABC Late on Politics. I'm Dominic Carter.
The views and opinions expressed by the individual.
Y no puedo casi ni abrirlo.
Y el cuadrangular.
You might remember the ECB pledged to stop buying bonds as of July 1st. The ECB is also expected to deliver a rate hike.
The AM tuner is remarkably high fidelity, and it doesn't have the same issue with the DSP tuner chip cutting in and out and getting all choppy. See, it's no choppiness whatsoever. It's definitely not going to win any awards by audiophiles, but for the average person looking to play their cassette tapes and listen to the radio as well, it's not bad. Definitely not the best I've seen, but it could have been a lot worse. And now, since I'm sure everybody is waiting, I will do my best to hook this thing up directly to my camera using a patch cord of dubious quality. Very, very flimsy, but it should work nonetheless. And give a few brief direct hookups of playing cassette tapes so you can judge for yourself whether or not the $17 or so that this thing is currently going for is worth it.